Good morning, guys. Welcome to this Facebook event. We are live broadcasting from our studio here in Cape Town. I'm your host, Stuart Calder. I'm VP for Sales and Marketing at Netready. And today we've got an awesome guest in our studio, none other Mr. Richard Sletcher.
Again.
Boom, boom, boom. We're back.
We're back.
Right? How awesome. It's coming into the end of the year. We've had an immense year. We've done over 30 episodes sitting in these two seats.
Yeah, it's been incredible.
Richard, we've had a good time.
It's been an incredible year. I mean, it's so much has happened.
Oh,
wonderful,
my goodness. And next year presents awesome opportunities. We're so excited for it. Setting the foundations for big things to come. So really looking forward to it. Having a bit of a break. We're going to have a 2-week break coming up.
So we won't be on air for the next 2 weeks?
No, we won't, guys. So for the next 2 weeks, are we on here? For the next 2 weeks, we're not going to be having our Facebook live events, but on the 11th of January, please catch us again. We'd love to have you dedicating your time to us. So what we want to speak about today, Richard and team, is that if you understand what people are looking for within a multi-level marketing business and what makes it such an attractive route to market, once you understand that, you are then able to build your business and the attributes of the business to sit at the top of the pile so that someone chooses your business over any others.
That's correct.
How cool is that?
Yeah. So if the network marketers know what they're looking for, if you know what the network marketers are looking for, you can show them how your business is going to meet that need. That's the key thing here.
Exactly. That's beautiful. And I mean, if I look at traditional businesses, I'm an employee in a company, there's a lot of reasons why I want to get out and the security of it and my boss I'm trying to get. There's a whole bunch of reasons why traditional businesses make it so difficult to have this thing we call a job. Right? So, and that's what makes it so...
I hope you're not referring to yourself.
No, I'm not. Believe me, I'm not. And that's what makes it so lucrative for people to get into the network marketing industry because of all these benefits. And I want us to focus on those benefits in this session, to truly dig into them and understand why someone would be looking to MLM as their position, as their job. And so let's dive into those.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, cool. So the first thing, and I've listed all these benefits. I've done a lot of research and just experience from my clients. These are the elements that I want to just focus on. So the first one is minimal risk at getting involved in network marketing.
Yeah, look, I mean, if you think about network marketing as a micro business, that's what it is, micro business, and you look at what the risks of getting involved, they're very low. So your barrier to entry is very low. As a result, people who get into it can give up easily because there's so little investment that they can wash out. So there's a whole strategy of how to keep them in.
Yeah.
But in terms of the barrier to entry, it's extremely low. I mean, some companies doesn't cost you anything to get in. And you've then got yourself a little micro business that you can work on.
Yeah.
So that is very attractive. And if you treat it like a serious business, I mean, people make a lot of money in the MLM space, but it's only the people who treat it like a serious business.
Sure.
It's very easy to get in for a low amount of money and therefore very easy to wash out. But if you as a company can make sure that your people understand what is required to succeed and provide them with all the tools and the training to do that,
Yeah.
then this becomes an incredibly good route to market with very, very low risk. And that's what it's all about. I mean, if you have a look at traditional business, a lot of people fail in traditional business, but when they fail, it costs them big money.
Yeah.
Here, give it a punt,
Yes.
low barrier to entry, low risk,
Yeah.
and off you go.
I mean, of course, you should not be promoting, hey, just come in and give it a punt. We don't want those kind of people in our network. However, if we look at what we're focusing on here is minimal risk, there's a minimal financial risk and there's a minimal security risk. So if this doesn't work, okay, I gave it a shot, but it didn't work. But in a job, and I always, you know how I love to do this, I focus on the comparisons with traditional business. If I have my job and I'm giving that a punt, I'm working hard, but tomorrow, I might be fired. And there's risk there.
Well, there's no security in life anymore. The days of, in the old days when my father was, my father-in-law, not my dad, but my father-in-law, when he was working, there was this thing called company loyalty. So he started working for this company in Cape Town when he was in his sort of early 30s, And he worked with that company until he retired at 65. And then he got this amazing pension, which got paid out to him. And his wife, who's now sort of coming up for 90, is still living on that pension. So that was the old way of doing things. The new way of doing things, not like that. People jumping from job to job to job.
Yeah.
There's no loyalty from the company side. There's no loyalty actually from the workers' side either. And so as a result, there's a large amount of risk within the traditional job market, and you can lose your job that fast. You can get downsized, you can get retrenched, you can get your position can be outsourced, automated, etc.
Yeah.
So there's risk in that.
Right.
And so I think that if you compare that to the risk related to doing an MLM play, well, the beauty is you can do it as a part-time thing. You don't have to start it at full-time. You don't have to give up your job to get going. So you could put in 6 to 8 hours a week and get your MLM business up and running. You only have to cross into it full time once you know that you've got the turnover and the income that you need. So there's very low risk in terms of that. You're not risking your income because you continue having your job while you're doing this. So small access fee. You need your starter pack. Normally you've got some sort of activation fee, and then you're up and running, and then no risk because you do it part time.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned a key word there, which was demand. I mean, if I'm a traditional business, there's a serious demand for my job. There are so many people fighting for my position, and if I mess it up, if I make the wrong call or whatever I do to not perform in the company, well, my job's on the line.
Exactly.
And I can get booted and replaced.
So as an MLM company owner, what you're looking at, you're saying, why do people... So the question is, why would people want to come into MLM?
Right.
And one of the big things is that there's a low barrier to entry. I'm going to get into it with very little risk.
Yeah.
I can start off putting a low amount of hours into it to get started.
Mm.
So when you are pitching your MLM business to people, you need to know that that is a high percentage of the people who are getting into it. The risk component is one of the big decision makers that they're considering when they're getting into it. So you need to position your business as a low risk opportunity to leverage themselves out of their job and into a full-time lifestyle driven business.
Okay, let's talk about the setting up of a traditional business. I mean, there's a whole bunch of moving parts that need to come together to create this business infrastructure. Within MLM, if a company's gone out and set up all that infrastructure, you're getting a business in a box.
Yeah, so as the network marketer, that one of the key things that you as a company are pushing to your network marketing team is that they don't have to do anything in order to get this business up and running. They literally buy the starter pack, they attend the company training, they read some books on the topic, and they get out there and they do, and they learn on the job, and it's a part-time play.
Yeah.
So from the company's point of view, that is obviously a key differentiator. It's the key area that you're pushing.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, but how amazing is it? What an opportunity that it provides. I mean, I can come into a business with low entry in terms of cost and have everything set up for me. All I have to do, I'm the middleman between business and its products and the end user. This is my role. So if you can understand, as from a company perspective, to make the process as simple and easy as possible, especially through something like fulfillment, because what we know is that if someone purchases off an e-commerce platform, but the next day or 2 days later that arrives, there's now belief in that product as well as the business.
Exactly.
And you're the middleman.
And as the networker, I'm not having to worry about any of that overhead.
Yeah.
In a traditional business, I would have to be making sure the manufacturing happened and the warehousing happened and that the fulfillment happened and that the money was in the bank, and all of that stuff just gets handled by somebody else. So I take on my position as a network marketer in this business, and everything is done for me. I've just got to make sure that I connect the customer with the business, the product.
Correct.
And so that makes it it's a very easy business to get going, because if you run a traditional business, you still have to do that. Yeah. If you run any kind of traditional business, you still have to get the customer connected with the product. The person has got to make a purchase, whether it's a service or a product, whether you're running a restaurant or a coffee house or whatever you're running. That process of getting the customer to come and buy your product, that still exists.
Yeah.
What we're just saying is that wash away all the back end. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And all you've got to focus on is getting the customer to connect with the product.
Right.
Once that happens, the business works.
Yeah.
And so it's something you would have had to do anyway. I can promise you in a traditional business, because all of the overheads are in your name, you get paid last.
Mm-hmm.
So you pay your suppliers, you pay your staff, you pay the rent, electricity, everything gets paid. And if there's money left over, you pay yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Within the MLM space, the company has to worry about all of that stuff. At the end of each week / month, whenever the pay cycle runs, you get paid. So if you've brought in 100,000 rands with the customers and your share of that is 20%, you get paid out pounds or dollars? What did I say? Pounds.
Yeah.
20,000 pounds in commission.
Yeah.
And you get that no matter what. Doesn't matter if there's overheads.
Sure.
It's not your problem. You get your money, which I think that's a key thing, is that you in some areas we talk about cutting out the middleman.
Yeah.
In here, you're cutting out everything except the middleman. You're the middleman and you're getting paid.
Exactly.
That's it.
So as the business owners, how you would pitch it is just like that. We take care of everything.
Yeah.
All your role is to connect product to customer, and we do the rest.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, we'll show you how to connect you to the customer, product to the customer. We'll show you how to find prospects. We'll show you how to convince those prospects, demonstrate the products, how to sign up other salespeople. We'll show you how to do all of that. You just go and do it. Yeah. So it's a simple business. I think the problem, and this is, companies need to be very aware of this, is that the promise needs to be realistic.
Sure.
If you set the person up with unrealistic expectations, that's where you have a problem. That's where the churn rate gets up. But if I recruit you and you understand that, listen, we're cutting out all of the noise, but you've got to go out and find the customers, and this is how you do it, and that there's a lot of work involved in that. If you understand that, then you're going to make a success. It's like if you buy a franchise and the franchisor says, okay, you give us 2 million, and then you just go and sit behind the desk, and somehow miraculously people are going to walk in the door and do business with you. Well, you're going to be gone.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be aggressively working to get customers in the door, to encourage them to come and have your food, to make sure that they're happy when they've had it, to make sure that they enjoyed what they did. You know, that how was the meal? Did everything go okay? You know, what they do in these franchises. All of that stuff is your responsibility.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing here. You know, you've got to create the right expectation. The people have got to expect that they need to do some work.
Yeah.
So
I like how you draw the comparison between the franchise and the network, because in a franchise there's total transparency and clarity on the business setup. There's training, there's how the look and feel of this franchise needs to be.
What you are and aren't allowed to do.
There are so many things that are prescriptive within the franchising model that translate into network marketing.
Exactly.
If I can join a business and I can be told how to run my business, I'm excited. I'm willing. I'm wanting to do the best that I can for my own benefits.
Exactly.
Please just tell me how.
Exactly. And so that again goes back to, we are cutting out all of the work, but there is still something you have to do. And so when you're recruiting people, your posture should be, hey, we're going to take the load off you, but you guys have got to work. If you're not prepared to work, you're not going to succeed.
Yes.
You know, and this is what we expect you to do. So that should be part of your recruit process, and it's part of your posture as a company.
So we've spoken about the franchise and network marketing comparison. I want to get into the third point here, which we speak about. I want to draw comparisons on retail and the network marketing industry. Let's talk about the demand for quality products as a third focus area.
Yeah, well, look, in the retail space, you've got a challenge, because the retailers are obviously squeezing for margin all the time, because they make their money by showing the world how incredibly cheap it is to buy from them. That's they're trying to be the cheapest on the block. So in terms of all of the big retailers, there's a race to the bottom.
Yeah.
They're competing with each other all the time in the newspapers and their advertising and their marketing and their knock and drops. All of that stuff, they're competing on price. Peas today at fill in retailer name, at just $2.99 per pack or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're competing, and it's a race to the bottom there. Now, the suppliers supplying into those retail stores have got to maintain margin. The only way they can maintain margin is by reducing the expensive ingredients in their products. So what happens is that as the price gets driven down and as that price competition puts pressure on them, that pressure is exerted on the suppliers, and the suppliers drop the efficacy of their product in order to meet, to achieve margin.
Yeah.
Now, within the MLM space, it's the opposite way around. The way we sell our product is by offering the most effective products that are possible to get. There's no price pressure on us because we set the price.
Yep.
So the company sets the price. The company decides how much they're selling the product for. And that price is decided on based on how effective the product is, not based on how much they're getting squeezed for margin. And there is definitely a demand out there for products that work. People are sick and tired of buying products off the shelf that are not effective. By the time it gets to the point it's just aqueous cream or whatever and does nothing.
Right.
They're tired of that. And so within our space, we're finding that people are recognizing that within the MLM space that the products are higher quality, that people can afford to put a much higher quality ingredients in it, that they're not being squeezed for margin. So what you're buying is markedly better product in the long term.
Yeah. If I look at the two largest categories within the multi-level marketing space globally, it's health and wellness and personal care. I don't want to be skimping on paying for those products because it's a cheaper price. I want to be looking at those products and going, I need the best quality for my skin. I need the best quality of product to go into my body. I don't mind paying a little bit extra. And if I know this company that I'm purchasing the products from is putting the right ingredients on there, they control the whole value chain. I know for certain that what is in that product is what's going into my body, and I'm comfortable with that.
Exactly. And that's exactly the bottom line. And then somebody is sitting with you telling you why the product is good, what the process of manufacturing it is, what is in the product, how the product will affect you, if there are any contraindications, what they are. You've got somebody sharing that with you, somebody you know, like, and trust. They obviously, the company needs to have trained them properly. But once they are properly trained, then when they sit with you, you are getting the lowdown on their product, and that's why you will pay a premium on it, because you know what's in it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Let's go into drawing further comparisons here between the employees and a network member. Now, as an employee, I get my salary, and I'm lucky enough, if I'm in a sales role, to get commissions in my role. Within network marketing, it's different. Depending on the compensation plan you use and how you structure your earnings, there's 6 or 7 different ways of earning. How amazing is that?
Well, that's it. And so, as a company, what you don't want to do is you don't want to get too complicated about it, because these comp plans are complex. They have to be complex if you're going to actually build a compensation plan that's effective and that drives the right behavior. It's by nature complex. You can't do it with a simple plan. So the plan is complex. So as a company, when you're pitching the plan, what you want to do is pitch at a high enough level that it seems simple, and at a low enough level that there's enough detail. The person mustn't walk away thinking, well, I don't understand anything of what's going on there because you went into too much detail, or walk away thinking that doesn't sound real because not enough detail. So, so the idea is that you pitch your comp plan to sort of hit the sweet spot, the Goldilocks spot. Now, you were talking about earlier on today, before we had this came in here, about the 6 ways to earn. So that's an ideal way to show people how to earn. In a traditional business, you got one way to earn. You do your job, you get your salary. Okay, and your salary doesn't get changed. For the vast majority of people, the salary is the salary every month. So they do X, they're going to get paid Y. They do X plus, they still get paid Y. They do X plus plus plus, they still get paid Y. So nothing changes there. Within our space, what you're saying to the person is, look, there's a number of ways that you can increase how much you earn. Okay? And we are going to provide you with mechanisms that automate that process. And so in an example, use 6 ways to earn. First way, you can get a fast start bonus. What do you need to do that? Well, you just do X within Y time period, and we're going to give you a fast start bonus. So there's immediately a target that I can aim for to generate cash for myself.
Yes, I understand it, and it's achievable.
Yes, and it's not complicated. Do X within Y period, we're going to give you this amount of fast start bonus.
Yeah.
The next thing you might have is a retail commission. So this is like a traditional business. When you purchase the product from us, let's say you Tupperware, you buy this plastic Tupperware container. It costs you an amount of money. You sell it at a 20% markup or whatever, and you are going to make the difference between what you bought it for and what you sell it for as a retail commission. That's simple. And in today's modern systems, everybody gets their own e-commerce website. So basically, you get 100 people, or let's say you get 1,000 customers. I mean, that's not a big customer base for any company. You get 1,000 customers to buy, and let's say those 1,000 customers spend 100 rands each. We'll use rands. You've suddenly got 100,000 rands. If you're making a 30% commission, you put 30,000 rand a month into your back pocket. So that is the kind of process that you're talking about. You make it really simple. So just get people to connect with us on your e-commerce website, and you get up to 30% margin on everything. So you get 100,000 rand. So the sales is going to make 30,000 rands. Who wants to make 30,000 rands? Everybody wants to make 30,000 rand. That's pretty simple, isn't it? Everybody agreed. It's pretty simple. So as a company, when I'm pitching the comp plan, it's that kind of approach that I take. You know, you don't want to be too information light, but you also don't want to be too information heavy, because remember, confused people say no, they walk away. So when I'm pitching the comp plan, that's kind of the route I've got. We've got 6 ways to earn. The first way is this. The second way is retail commission. The third way is whatever, level-based commission. I recruit you, you're on my level 1. You recruit Mary, that's your level 2. And we're going to give you commission on each level, so you can get up to 8 levels deep. Imagine being able to earn 8 levels deep, people who you don't even know purchase product from you, and you get a commission. And on the 8th level, we're paying you 2% of every sale that's happening down there, whatever the number is. And again, it's simple enough that you're not confusing people, and easy enough to understand. They've understood what a level is, and you're getting paid on next levels. There are more complicated compensation plans, like binary plans. But there in the binary plan, you can say we have a 2-leg plan. Okay, and we pay infinitely deep. So you've got 2 legs. If your one leg's doing $1,000, the other leg's doing $1,000, we'll pay you up to 10% of what the match is, and it's matching on $1,000. So we'll give you $100 in commissions. You know, simple. And the beauty of it is, and this is where you bring in, it's infinitely deep. For example, in a binary. So it doesn't matter how deep your network goes, how many people recruit, how many people, that all of that volume counts towards you. And you get a percentage on that. Pretty exciting, isn't it?
It is.
Straightforward, simple. Wouldn't you agree? And so you make it seem simple, and you keep the complexities out of the discussion. But the beauty is, as a company, your compensation plan, the idea is to make, by the time you finish explaining your compensation plan, the person must be thinking, wow, these guys are giving away the farm. And that's what they're doing. They're giving away the farm, because you generally, within an MLM company, the network takes the lion's share of the profits. Lion's share. So the network, most MLM companies are paying the vast majority of the profits to the MLM companies. So they pay out to the MLM companies. They then have to pay out for the stock. They then have to pay all of the overheads, and they're left with a profit. The networkers don't have any of the overheads. They just take the profit. So if a networker is getting, let's say the company's paying out 40%, if the networker makes 40%, that's 40% clean. They don't have the overheads, the companies. They don't have to have offices. They don't have to have staff. None of that stuff. You know, so when you pitch as a company, when you're pitching the comp plan, which is part of why people get into this business, that is the key, is to show it in that light.
I mean, I can clearly see why someone would move away from traditional business as an employee and come here, because if I understand how to run my business and those 6 or 7 ways of earning, I can maximize my commissions and earn a serious amount of money for myself.
And bear in mind, you're starting part-time. So you can ease yourself into it and you
Yes.
can generate the money. And as the business picks up, you can decide at which point you roll out of your full-time business, your full-time job into your part-time business.
Right.
Where your full-time job becomes a part-time job potentially and your full-time business becomes a full-time business.
Right. The intention for this episode is for our clients, our partners, to understand how to make their business so attractive to these network members, so that to attract them and to
Exactly.
retain them. Now, we have the 5 primary drivers, and we're going to go into them. But you just mentioned the compensation plan and the ways of earning. We will get into others, but the compensation plan is only, as we know, 20% of your network. Your people are only driven by the comp plan, 20%. But the other 80% are driven by the other 4 factors that we'll get into. But if we can hit all 5 of those, we are 100% business, and we stand a greater chance at attracting a potential network member over a competing brand.
Well, there's another way to put that. 20% of people are attracted to your business because of the money. 80% not attracted to your business because of the money.
Right.
So the idea is when you are setting up your business, knowing what is attracting your people is critical to building your business. And I mean, we know this from our own experience. Company owners who are driven by money think that everybody's going to come and join their business because of the money, and they're just focused on the comp plan.
Right. These A-type personality people running the business.
We've got companies who come to us where they're running social projects. They're very socially oriented. They think everybody's going to join their business because they want to help other people. But we know that only 20% of people are attracted to that.
Yeah.
So understanding what's driving your network members to join your business is key. And touching everybody where they are is absolutely key.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go into the next one. Is that, and I know you've spoken about this, you've touched on it, but the income potential. So the income potential within network marketing is a direct result of the hard work that I put in. So you mentioned with employees in a traditional business, the harder I work doesn't dictate how much money I'm going to be earning in that month. I'm set to a standard of that.
Normally,
salary.
the harder you work, the better promotion your boss gets.
Right, exactly. That's sad.
No, it's true though, hey?
It is true, yeah. So people have a wishbone and often no backbone. But if they have a backbone and they are willing to put in through the sweat of their brow, put in that hard work, they can generate immense income for themselves within network marketing in comparison to that of a traditional business.
Well, that's the call to action here is, hey guys, there's actually a lifestyle waiting for you here.
Yeah.
And remember, the thing is that you've got, and I might be jumping the gun here, but you've got a couple of things that you want in your life. Most people want. They want the time to do the things that are important to them, and they want the money to be able to afford to do the things that are important to them.
Right.
That's generally what people are looking for. Now, most people are in a job, and generally they're living to their means, which means even when they've got the time, i.e. their holiday, etc., they don't really have the money to do what they want to do, and they're trapped in this job. Then there's those people who don't have a job.
Yes.
They've got loads of time, but they've got no money to do anything.
Yeah.
And so they're trapped without money. So the idea for this thing is to say, listen, guys, there's a lifestyle component here. We're going to provide you with a business opportunity where we're going to take all of the pain, and we're going to provide you the opportunity if you work. And that was the thing you were saying,
Right.
the work component. If you put the hours into this business that you're putting into your job, we can provide you with an income stream that will literally change your world. And so if you think about what do you do in the job, you get up at 6 in the morning, you drive to your job, you get there at 8 o'clock, you work until 5 o'clock in the evening, you drive home. Maybe you're working on Saturdays. You're making damn sure that during the day you are absolutely on top of it, because if you don't, you're fired.
Yep.
Now, the problem with MLM is that obviously you talked about the wishbone and the backbone. You have to have the backbone to put into that.
Right.
You've got to put that effort in.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, not a lot of people are prepared to do that work. So as a company, you've got to recognize that, and then you've got to provide the guys with the skills, the tools, and continually drive them to do what is necessary
Yeah.
to achieve the same outcomes as they would get in the job. If your job is paying you 20,000, let's say the job is paying you $2,000 a month. Let's just use that number. In order for them to pay you $2,000, what do they expect you to do? If you want to earn $2,000 in the MLM space, why would you think you have to do less than what you needed to do there to generate the $2,000?
Sure.
Well, obviously, that's crazy.
Yeah.
If your time is worth $2,000 and you're giving up 8 hours a day, 22 days a month to generate $2,000, then why would you come into MLM expecting to do less for the same money? Well, I mean, you won't.
Yeah.
So that expectation is there. And again, from a company's point of view, when you're bringing somebody in, creating that right expectation.
Yes, completely.
And I think that people are prepared to work. I don't think there's a case of I mean, that is, you've got a wishbone and no backbone, really just people want it, but they're not prepared to work for it. But a lot of people are prepared to work for it, but the companies are not providing them with the right platform. And so as a company, I'm saying that you should provide your networkers with the right training, the right motivation, the right incentivization, the right expectations, the right support in order to get them to put the work in to generate the kind of money that can allow them to go pro, go full time within the multi-level marketing space.
Yeah. So, I mean, you mentioned our next point here already, which is the time and money. I mean, having time, having the money is what network marketing allows you, which gives you the freedom.
Well, that's the dream, isn't it? And so that is where MLM really comes in. If you can harness the lifestyle component of MLM as a company and say, look, this is the lifestyle we're going for. This is what you've got to do to achieve it. Let's help manage and measure that. And let's help get you to the point where you have that lifestyle. Because there's a residual component to the income within MLM. Within traditional business, I'm selling my hours for dollars. So I say to the company, I'll give you X amount of hours, you give me X amount of dollars. That's the way it works. Within the MLM space, it starts off like that. You're selling hours for dollars because I have to put in X amount of hours to get X amount of customers who are going to purchase from me. I need to supply them with the product. I need to get the business up and running. But at some point, you leverage other people's time. So in the e-commerce space, you leverage the company's time. Your customer, so the company markets to your customer comes online, purchases the product, the company ships the product to the customer, you get paid a retail commission. So in that e-commerce space, you're leveraging the company's time. You're saying, hey, I got an army of people here who are going to fulfill for us. So you leverage their time. When it comes to your network, you're leveraging your downline's time. So you get a team of people. Now it takes a lot of effort to get those people trained and motivated and up and running and going. They go out and they find a whole lot of customers. You are leveraging their time to build your customer base. Now at some point, if you do this properly and you work hard at it, at some point you get to a point where you are no longer needing to involve. Once I've got you up to a point where you know what you're doing, I don't have to deal with you anymore. I phone you now and again, how's it going, Stuart? Yeah. You say, no, it's going cool. What's happening in your space? No, I signed up this person. I got that person in. Mary's just done X amount of sales. Fantastic. My involvement with you, though, is now limited.
Yes.
Because I've trained you properly.
Right.
Now I'm leveraging your time. Every time you go out and build a new customers, every time you build a new team member, every time you do something in the business, I get rewarded for it. And so what you do is you get to a point where there's a residual component to your income. And that's where the lifestyle comes in. Now suddenly you're making enough money to do the things that you want to. And because of how you're leveraging everybody around you's time, you have the freedom to go and do what it is that you want to do. So you have a look at the top performers in the MLM space. They see the world. They're experiencing the world at a totally different level. They're skiing in the south of France. They're just doing epic things with their lives, which isn't actually accessible for an average person. And the beauty is they don't have to work 16 hours a day, which is what the bosses in big companies are doing, are earning the same money as those guys. Don't have to do that. They just have to leverage the people around them. And so, going back to what you were saying, the whole issue is, as a company, if I'm introducing a new member to the team, I need to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
But the big thing is that I need to sell them that opportunity of time and money. The
Sure.
fact that you've got the freedom to do the things that you want to do, and the money to actually go out and do it.
Right.
And that's freedom. That's the definition of freedom.
Yeah.
Having enough money to do the things that you want, and enough time to actually be able to afford yourself
Yeah.
the opportunity to do those things.
And Richard, I love that, because I think a lot of companies, when they market their business, they're going, "We'll award you the financial freedom." What does that mean?
When you're
getting a lot of money?
65.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
In most jobs,
No, sorry, no, I'm talking about MLM companies.
Oh, yes,
so they're
okay.
saying this financial freedom, but how you position your business as being outperforming the rest and being more
I'm with
attractive
you.
is to say, we afford you the lifestyle freedom. What we afford you here is to earn money and to utilize your team's time and resources to build you that financial freedom and afford you this lifestyle that you want to live. So I think there's a step further than just saying we're giving the financial freedom, join our business. We're saying this is our lifestyle freedom, but we still need to set the expectation when they come into the business of how to get there.
exactly. And the thing is, what you're pointing out there is that if I say to you, this is the lifestyle you can have, you might actually join thinking, well, that would be a nice lifestyle to have. And you might be wishing to have that lifestyle. But you might not believe it's possible. Whereas if I tell you, look, this is the lifestyle we want for you. Are you interested in that? You say yes. This is what's required to get you to that point. Are you prepared to do that work?
Correct.
Are you prepared to do what it takes to get that lifestyle? Now, if you are prepared to do it, then fantastic. We can work together. Your expectations are right. We can get you there.
Yeah.
If you're not prepared to do it, rather don't join, because what's going to happen? You're going to join for 3 months, you're going to disappear. There's no benefit to anybody for that.
No.
So what you're saying is absolutely right. Create the right expectations. So set up this lifestyle. Tell people this is what the lifestyle looks like. Get them to buy into what that lifestyle looks like. Then show them what they need to do to achieve that lifestyle. Get them to buy into the activity that needs to happen in order to get to that lifestyle. And then suddenly you've got a person who's got the right expectation,
Very nice.
committed to the process, and will follow you down that road.
Yeah.
You still have churn. Some people will still give up, but your chances of keeping them in are much better. And companies that do that have lower churn rates and much higher success rates. Success rates. Sorry, first day with the new teeth.
Richard, then we get into we mentioned this earlier, and I think it's such a pertinent point, because there's no employees required, and the complications that comes with employing people, having staff, and I mean, I give you trouble every day, and just the complications. There's payroll. There's having to do the salaries. There's here in South Africa, there's PAYE. There's the retirement annuities. There's
And some staff can be really difficult. My dad always used to say to me, if it wasn't for customer staff and computers, business would be fun. And that can be the reality. When you're paying a staff member, and in some parts of the world, it's easy to get rid of staff. Here in South Africa, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Getting rid of a staff member in South Africa is very difficult. So when you've got the staff member, you've got to pay them, you've got to do the payroll, all of the rest of it, but they could also be really unpleasant people.
Yeah.
And you're having to manage those relationships and deal with those unpleasant people. We've got one example like that right here. I mean, we've got Haley, who's...
Sure.
Yeah. In case you're wondering...
Shame, Haley.
Haley's actually doing the production on the other side of the wall here, so I'm just pulling her leg.
You're going to get a slap on the wrist after this.
But the bottom line is, in the MLM space, the beauty of it is there aren't any employees, and the a-holes leave. Because nasty people never succeed in our business. Unpleasant people don't succeed. The people who succeed are fun-loving, enthusiastic, hard-working, committed, caring, nurturing type of people.
Yeah.
So, in actual fact, not only do you not have staff, but the people who succeed around you are amazing. You never have this kind. You go to these meetings, you don't have a situation where people are keeping their little bag of marbles to themselves, not prepared to share. You go to these meetings, they cannot wait to tell you how you can do better, because that's just intrinsically who they are. The people who are self-centered and selfish, they never last in our business. They're gone.
Yeah.
So that's a huge plus. You just deal with nice people.
Yeah.
All the horrible people leave. Wonderful.
Yeah, so nice. So, I mean, last night I was watching a whole bunch of Amway presentations, and I mean, what these guys do to build community is immense. And for people that are listening now, you need to understand and learn from the people that are doing it well. They are inspiring and motivating their people, their network. At this event, I mean, this guy was doing a selfie video of his experience sitting in the hotel, getting his accreditation bands, putting them on, getting dressed and ready. And he was arriving at this event where you saw the interaction with the people. And it was just like you said, it was the nurses, the carers, the teachers, the people that wanted to uplift and support one another.
Exactly.
But in traditional business, I'm fighting for my position.
Are you?
Well,
How rude.
Well, no, not mine. Normally.
The average person is, yes.
The average person, let's say. And it's difficult. People are to get one another. It's not encouraging a healthy environment.
Exactly. Yeah.
So having
barrel of crabs, you know about the story of the barrel of crabs.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly.
So that's
trying to get out.
Yeah, well, if one crab tries to climb out the barrel, all the other crabs pull them back.
Yeah.
And so that's traditional business, whereas in our space, everybody's trying to uplift everybody else.
Yeah.
It's a completely different attitude. And from a company's point of view, again, just pulling this back to the company, if you own the company and you are looking to encourage your people, really embracing that side of the business is a key way to get people excited. You know.
And the ways in which we do that, how do we promote ourselves as doing that? Do we say we hold these events, we are wanting to entertain you, we're wanting, and this plays into things like social, the community building. Do we say we have all these big events in a year so that we can get you into a room? Because what often happens is you operate in isolation. So you're sitting at home, or you've got your own shared workspace office. But this building of the community comes in when you go to these big events. And I go, I'm part of something bigger here. I'm interacting with like-minded people, and we're bouncing ideas off and uplifting.
And the problem is a lot of companies think that because of COVID, that Zoom is a replacement for destination events, and it's not. No. Absolutely nothing can compete with destination events.
Yeah.
So you have an event, let's say we're having an event in London. Your people fly in from all over the world into London, and they come and attend the event at the O2. There was a big event for Forever Living at the O2 in London.
Yes.
And they had tens of thousands of people who arrived for that event. The camaraderie that you get in that event is just like unequaled. And if we can just touch on events for a moment, I've just read a book.
So wasn't your girlfriend playing at the O2 Centre for Forever Living?
Who's my girlfriend?
Shakira?
Oh, jeez. Yes, she was.
She was there.
Wish she was my girlfriend. Although my wife wouldn't be too impressed.
She wouldn't be
I must say.
she must not watch this episode.
Yeah, I know. So exactly.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is the camaraderie that was there is just par excellence. Now, if we can just talk about events for a moment, these destination events. I just read this book, which was quite amazing. And the guy in the book was talking about the fact that when he went to his first event, very first destination event, he walked into the room, and there, standing to the side, was one of the top leaders in the company. And he said to the top leaders in the company, well, tell me, what is the secret to succeeding in this business? And he said, and of course, there is no secret. There's no magic bullet. You have to work hard. You have to follow all the rules, and you will succeed. There's no secret to it. But the guy said to me, he says, the interesting thing is that these events are, in his opinion, the most important thing that you can do. He says, watch what will happen. You're going to come to this event. Half the people in this room will not be at this event next year.
Yeah.
He said, but the half that are here will be earning 4 times as much as they were a year ago. He said, the year after, of that half that attended next year, half will not attend again.
Yeah.
He said, but that half, which is a quarter of the people that are in the room now, will be earning 4 times as much as they were earning the year before. He said, and you can keep on going, and it will keep on halving. And he said, you'll get to the end where the people who are here over the next period of time will be the top earners in the company. So if you want to succeed, all you've got to do is outlast everybody else in the event. So,
Wow.
so always be at the events and outlast everybody else if you want to be a top earner in the company. Now, the reason for that is when you go to one of these events, it's mind-blowing. I mean, I was at the Amway event a couple of years ago. There's 12,000 people in the room. They had Robert Kiyosaki talking at the event. I mean, when you get into a scenario like that where people like that are there, the credibility it gives the company is just amazing.
Yeah.
And so these destination events are critically important. You need to encourage people to come to them. But number one, they set the tone for your whole business for the next 3 months, 6 months, however often you run these events, over a year or 2 years or whatever. Yeah.
You mentioned the word credibility there, and I think that's a big part of what company owners need to strive for. And there's a whole bunch of ways to do it. And if we use the Amway example, I saw that they've got a full basketball / ice rink stadium that they call the Amway Stadium. Now, for me looking to decide, and it's coming back to the attributes that companies have for me to decide to join them, is that there's so much credibility there. I know this is huge. They're spending, millions of dollars to have that, but it again comes back to the credibility. You need to attach yourself to something that gives you enough credibility for someone to go, wow, I need to join this company.
Yeah, look, also you've got to make everything self-funding. Because remember, if something costs nothing, it's worth nothing.
Yes.
Okay, so these events, you need to charge people for the event. So let's say that the arena's costing you, I don't know, let's say it's costing you $20 a seat. The people who are coming to that event need to pay you the $20 per seat. Because it needs to be self-funding. Otherwise, you cannot do it. It becomes too expensive, even for the biggest companies. So you can leverage everybody's buying power to create an event that's just mind-blowing. And we're going to be doing a whole session on eventing one of these days.
Yeah.
But that's the concept there, is that if you're small, obviously your events are small, but they still need to be epic. So you would charge people to be at the event. They pay to come to the event. You make sure that that event is epic. Read whatever you need to read about it. Do whatever you need to do to get yourself educated on it. But it's part of why people succeed in our business. And again, as a company, when you're promoting those events, that is a key reason why people will come along to your business, will join your business and be part of it, is because those events provide such tremendous credibility.
Okay. We're on point number 8.
Sure.
I know. The support of the upline. Okay.
Yes.
Now, again, we're going into this traditional business where, let's say you're my manager, I'm your junior. The support that you provide me is enough for me to carry out my role, my duty in the business. But if I start coming up with these incredible ideas, I pitch them to you, you like it, then you pitch it to your senior, you take all the recognition and the credit.
As it should be.
Yeah. Come on, Richard. Give me something.
Yeah.
And within multi-level marketing, your upline is so supportive of your role within the business because it's going to benefit everyone.
Exactly. And when you make more money, I make more money.
Exactly.
So how much money do I want you to make?
As
much
much
as possible. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different mindset.
Yeah.
Within the MLM space, as your leader, what I'm trying to do is make you as successful as possible.
Yeah.
In the traditional job, as your leader, I'm trying to get you to do your job. So sit down, shut up, face the front, do what I tell you.
Exactly.
Okay, if you come up with a great idea, fantastic. That improves my kudos with the company. But I don't want your idea to come out at the bosses that it was your idea because maybe you bypassed me.
Right.
Whereas in MLM space, for the most part, there are some comp plans that don't allow for this, but for the most part, the higher in rank you go, the more money I make. So I encourage you to grow right the way to the top. If I can get you to the top ranks, making the most amount of money, that just benefits me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a supportive environment, such a supportive nature within MLM that builds and generates this rank up, this revenue generator. There's so many exciting things about the support that the upline can provide you to generate.
And again, bringing it back to the company.
Yeah.
That support
Yeah.
is a key thing that I need to make sure that when I structure my compensation plan and my pitch, that I'm highlighting the fact that the upline is absolutely driven to help you rank up.
Yes.
That there's nothing preventing you from ranking up, that the upline actually makes more money when you rank up. So if that's clear, and I would say that when you're getting into an MLM business as a networker, you need to make sure that if you rank up, your upline benefits. If you're in a company where when you rank up, you eat their lunch, you can be rest assured they're not going to be keen to help you rank up.
Yeah.
So you need to look at the comp plan and make sure that when you rank up, your upline benefits. That goes back to now, the company needs to make sure their comp plan, when somebody ranks up, that the upline makes more money. You don't want a situation where the upline makes less money for a rank up.
Yeah, sure. And there's so many forms of communication that you can have to support of the upline, which is if I make a sale or I recruit someone, my upline's getting notified, and when my upline's notified, I'm getting a call from them to say, Stu, well done, that's amazing, you've just brought Richard into your team. And it's such a supportive nature and community.
So the company's recognizing it.
Yes.
So that's actually going to the recognition, which is another powerful.
Which is our next point.
Is that our next point?
Yes.
That was pretty good, eh?
Yeah, nice segue there.
So the issue with recognition is twofold. The company needs to recognize people. So again, as a company, you need to acknowledge that a portion of your people are joining because they are starved for recognition. And our space tends to be very recognition heavy. So a lot of people will join your company for that. So you need to have good recognition strategies in place. But recognition is a wonderful thing because it doesn't cost the company anything. It costs no money to pat a person on the back and say, well done.
Yeah.
And so you can put strategies in place that are inexpensive ways of recognizing your people. And you don't even need to police them. So I'll give you an example. Amway's got this incredible thing called the pace setter. So they say, could we have everybody who's a pace setter to stand up in the room? And so everybody stands up. Say, please come down to the front of the room. And those people come down to the front of the room and they file across the stage. And as they walk across the stage, everybody claps for them. Now, how much does that cost Amway? Zero.
Yeah.
Costs them nothing. The people walk across the stage, everybody cheers and claps. The people walking across the stage feel validated. They feel recognized. Doesn't cost the company anything, and it's a strategy that's put in place. So next time we have one of these destination events, I want to walk across the stage as well. And I know in order to walk across the stage, I just need to sign up 2 people.
Yeah.
Hell, I can do that. I go up and sign up 2 people. At the next event, I pay my money. I go there. Boom, I walk across the stage. Everybody cheers for me. I feel great.
Yeah.
So that's the wonderful thing about recognition. So as a company, if you recognize that people are there for recognition, you can put these strategies in place. And you can make them so automated. For example, you mentioned the signing up. So you sign up Haley.
Yep.
Okay? You get an SMS from the company or an email, whichever it is, saying, well done, Stuart, for signing up Haley. So you get recognized by the company. It's automated. Hey, we see you signed up Haley. Well done. Fantastic. Okay? What's more important is that I get an SMS saying, Stuart just signed up Haley. Give him a call. So you get a call from me. Hey, Stuart, I see you signed up Haley. Well done. Now, that's a personal recognition. How much does it cost the company?
Yeah.
Well, not zero. It costs the company the
SMS.
price of an SMS.
Yeah.
And if they send an email, it's even cheaper. But let's say it costs them the price of an SMS. But you get recognized. My upline could easily get a message saying, hey, listen, Richard's downline Stuart just signed somebody up. His team is growing. Why don't you give Richard a call, congratulate him, give Stuart a call, congratulate him, phone Haley up and welcome him to the team.
Yeah.
Can you see that the network is now doing all of that recognition for you without you having to be involved, or the company to be involved in that? So there are strategies that you put in place to create automated recognition. Now, if you as a company realize that recognition is an important part of why people join your business, and you put those strategies in place, then as part of your presentation, when you're presenting your business opportunity, you can present that as as a way to sort of get your people excited and get them to join you above other companies. Because a lot of companies don't do recognition well. A lot of companies don't do incentives well. They don't do any of these things well.
Yeah.
And so if you can do it well, it's a differentiator that you can draw people into your business with.
Yeah. And I mean, the proof is in the pudding here, because, you know, once you've established your business, you need to have it at these events, the people coming up on stage, so that when your guys, your people, go out and present, say, well, at this previous event, I became a pace setter. I walked up on stage and I felt this sense of pride because people stood up and clapped for me. And all I had to do was recruit 2 people.
Exactly.
Isn't that easy?
Exactly. And because it costs the company nothing, they don't have to police it.
Yeah.
If somebody's so desperate for recognition that they've only signed up one person, they want to walk across the stage, well, go for it.
Let them go.
Walk across the stage.
Yeah.
Everybody cheers.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Mm.
We don't care.
Yeah.
Recognize them. You know, so you can, and most people are honest. I mean, it's an honest system, you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at those 5 primary drivers. We've looked at the product and the demand for quality of products, the compensation plan, and the 6 or 7 different ways of earning, which makes it so attractive. Then we looked at recognition and how I'm being recognized for just these small achievements when people come into my team. We touched on social and the community building, and then there's the whole social responsibility side of the business, which we can get into if we want. But the fifth one is competitions and incentives. We have a majority, 20% of the people coming to the network, that are competitive by nature, and they're driven by the chance to perform to win a competition.
Yeah.
So what do we do? How do we market ourselves in that sense through incentives?
So look, I think that what you need to do is you need to tell people that you have incentives and what those incentives are. Now in this industry, travel is the biggest one.
Mm.
You know, you want to have travel incentives. People don't want to win a watch or, that's not what incentivizes them. But travel is a tremendous incentivizer.
Yeah.
So at your meetings, you can say, who would like to go to, pick a spot, Hawaii, Mauritius, wherever. Who'd like to go to Hawaii?
I would.
Okay. Exactly. So hands up, everybody. Well, the beauty of it is our company is doing an incentive to Hawaii. And all you have to do to achieve it is, and then you list what the requirements are to achieve it. Mm. And that's achievable, isn't it? Let's see, who thinks it's achievable? And it's got to be achievable, otherwise people are not going to go for it. Mm. But now the thing is that not everybody's turned on by that, but 20% of the people sitting in that room, 20% of the people who join your business will actually be completely and utterly fired up about traveling the world on your dime. And so if you've got a really nice incentive, if it's well managed, if it's well systemized, if it's well policed, if they know where they are at all times in it, if they communicate it to effectively, then those people will be driven hard by that incentive. But also it will attract them into the business. If they know that that incentive is achievable and desirable, you will pull them into the business. So it's one of the things that if you want to be differentiated from other companies out there is to have very strategically effective incentives in your sort of arsenal, let's call it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. We've come to the end, Richard.
No ways.
Yeah, we have.
So this was a short one. How long have we been talking for?
I think we've done about 50 minutes.
What?
Yeah.
Jeez. Time flies when you're having fun, huh?
There we go. I think, Richard, just in closing, I think what we tried to address in the beginning was that there are people who are looking to network marketing, to MLM, direct selling, as a means to have a secondary income, food on the table and roof overhead. Job security within a traditional business does not exist with anymore. People are bouncing and there's a lot of demand for that position. So they are looking into network marketing. How do we make ourselves more attractive than all other businesses within the space? Well, we touch on all the attributes that we just covered now.
Yes.
We need to make ourselves attractive enough for someone to go, I need to be part of that business because I believe through perception that they are better than anyone else in the market.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That was fun.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thank you, my friend.
Guys, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you dedicated to us here at Netready. Please follow us on all our channels. We've got a YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We'd love to see you here. The next time we're going to be having a Facebook Live session will be on the 11th of January, so please join us there. It's our usual 10 o'clock Central African time slot. We'd love to have you here. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the festive season.
And don't forget to like, ring the bell,
Boom, boom, boom. All of those things. Let's see if we can pop
subscribe.
things out. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Have a good week.
Okay.